wasn't real, but my emotions were. Grieving a living person is more complicated than grieving a deceased one. When you leave the narcissist, you mourn the loss of the perception of the individual you believed they were. They are walking, living, and breathing, and you are expected to believe that the person you met never existed.
The difference with your DV relationship is you choose to keep driving back to him. You didn't live with him. It's not like you were trapped. He didn't love you, bomb you to keep you there. Not that we saw at least or heard from you. You kept going back on your own free will. You still reach out to him. Most of us that finally got away from our abusers never want to speak to them, let alone see them. You keep doing that. He wouldn't have spent any of his precious money to grab an Uber and drag you back to his place. Once you drove away to go home, you were safe from him. But you kept going back. A little piece of advice. Maybe if you stop being so hateful to people in your chat, you would get some respect. You yourself are an abuser. You do the same thing to other people you claim to hate. End of story. Lol. Amen. No one else needs to see the comment after this. I've been in two physical and verbally abusive relationships, which led to me going to a psychiatric hospital. There is no way on earth that I ever want anything to do with either of them. Chantal, you are a complete disgrace and a joke to people who have actually experienced domestic violence. He left you. Remember that, Heifer. You'd still be wet with him to this day if he didn't. Victim, my firm olive colored ass. You're just bitter, hateful, and vengeful. Period. Preach? Isn't leaving this comment considered hateful and vengeful? Look in the mirror. You can say your opinion, but you don't have to call her that. Rude. Not meaning to be mean or invalidate your pain, Chantal, but as someone who has lost numerous family members, including my mom and dad, I can safely say that once you experience trauma such as that, the narcs are put into perspective. There are far more heartbreaking experiences you will go through in life than losing a man you never really had in the first place. I laid my dad to rest yesterday at 60 years old. If you could really sit and reflect on what you do have rather than what you don't, then maybe you'd be happier in yourself. Take care, XX. So sorry for your loss, Vicky. Prayers if you believe, or positive thoughts and healing if you don't. This completely says your pain could be worse or people are suffering more than you are. You might not have meant to invalidate her feelings, which I'm not really believing, but that's exactly what you did here. You changed after your wrench power was taken away from you. You got extremely neurotic and very rude. Sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. 60 is very young. Thank you, XX. I'm so sorry for the loss of your dad. I lost 8 family members and close friends in a span of 1 year. My mom and sister were 5 months apart. I didn't think I was going to survive the overwhelming loss. I've lost 4 friends, 2 of them very close to me in the past year. It is heartbreaking. Absolutely zero empathy for Foodie. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Vicky, I'm so sorry, girl. My heart hurts for you. I too lost my dad when he was 60, and it's way too young. I hope you can find some comfort knowing that your dad is with your mom now and watching over their beautiful daughter. You will cherish every memory you shared. When you feel up to it, Google a father's touch, a daddy's kiss. Love you, Vicky. My prayers are with you and your family. Amen. No, it isn't any of those overly used phrases. It's perspective, emotional maturity, and trying to help Chantal to start looking forwards and appreciating the tiny glimpse of life we get on this planet and all its wonders, rather than staying stuck for eternity in one emotional state. Some things are just far too precious to waste time forever dwelling on the past for. More importantly, to Vicky, I'm so sorry to read this. I lost my own dad, age 62, 3 years ago. He was my absolute rock. Nothing quite feels like losing a parent. I am so sorry. This is such a kind message in the circumstances, sending you a heart full of love. XXX. For fuck's sake, there's nothing to compare that shitty toxic relationship with losing a loving father. My condolences, Vicky. Literally, how pathetic. She will use any reason like narcissist, TV victim, PTSD to try and hide behind the fact she is a lying narcissist toddler herself. She is a hot mess, and until she realizes it, she will be homeless or bedbound in a year. I love that all of this is finally getting the attention it needs. People need to be aware of this monster you brought online. They say I'm an obsessed girlfriend, as I sit on camera every single day raging on my phone about a crackhead who has lived with another woman for almost a year. It's just terrible ironic. Jesus, after 7 years of toxic relationship and also being thrown away like it was nothing. Did I bug him after? No. Did I continue to react in a variety of negative ways, including rage, insults, and undermine him in sectors of his life? No. Chantal, you are ironically the fucking narcissist in this. Well said. What about if both parties are narcissists? I'm sure that changes the game a bit, lol. It's been nearly a year since he threw you away. Grow up, Chantal. He moved on and chose another woman. Stop mourning a delusion and get into therapy. LMAO, my ex-husband used to give himself bruises, then take pictures, threatening to tell my parents and the police that I abused him if I tried to leave. The crackhead claimed you for 1 week so you provide a false alibi because he SA'd somebody, which you happily did. You were never even together. You were never anything. And the only thing you have to grieve is hope because you know your life is almost over and you will never be loved. Jen was lucky enough to have somebody accompany her to the grave. Nobody will do that for you. Not even if you pay. Not even family. Probably not even medical professionals. That is what you're grieving. Paying a psycho for love was your last hope. I bet you was the other way around, lol. I would pin your comment if I could. So harsh, but so true. Someone had to say it. Try not to let your bitterness overcome you. You might write hateful stuff to strangers online. That wouldn't help you either. Who else remembers when one of her abusers mentioned the abuse? She said she doesn't care if he kills her. She loves him. For fuck's sake, stop calling Nader an abuser in reference to you. He is an abuser, but you were never a victim. You basked in his attention. You weren't hurt. You kept trying to get him back months and months after his abusive personality really came out for all to see. Enough is enough. Stop lying. Can you go one stinking day without speaking shit? Seriously, you are exhausting. Your gaslighting and lies are just getting too much. At this point, Didi has been in a longer relationship with him than you were. Think about that. You just don't want to give up your victimhood crown. Does everything have to be about you, Narc? This is what happens when you buy love and then confuse it for the real thing. I heard you today when you said, so my abuse didn't matter because it wasn't recorded. And it's literally the first time I felt bad for you through this cokey period. I hear you. Doesn't change a damn thing. You still piss me off. But I know how important it is to be heard. Liars do not deserve to be heard. You knew what and who he was almost a year ago, and you for sure knew when you found out he was sleeping with Dee. But you still contacted him and met up in motels and paid everything for him. My eyes rolled so much they fell out of my head. You can just fuck all the way off. I lost my boyfriend, dog, father, and mother in a year. No, dear, that's real pain. You trying to pay for a boyfriend isn't grieving. You really show what person you are, making me glad I only watch reaction channels. Sorry you went through all of that. Hope you are starting to recover, and yes, you are totally correct. Well said. Wow, girl, I'm so sorry for your losses. That's a lot. You are so strong. Remember that. Growing up with an abusive dad verbally and physically is what I had to live with day in and out. When you're a kid, you can't live to top of that. My ex-husband was verbally abusive. I put up with that for 10 years. Had two babies. Finally, I left him, never looked back. At least Chantal could get away from him, but kept running back. Plus, ran to him in Montreal. What doesn't make sense to me? Stop pontificating about the things you read online. I haven't met many that live as indulgently and as self absorbed as you are. I've not imagined that anyone could make it to 40 and lack empathy for others in the way that you do. You want praise for being act as you act unkind to others. You scream of victim shaming as you victim shame and bullying as you bully. You take no responsibility for the things that you do. The few times that you have apologized, you make a mockery of it so that it's obvious that you could care less. You want everyone to continue watching you so that you can remain a petulant, self indulgent child by funding your existence. Money allows you to think that you don't need to fix your problems, but wasting money on Uber Eats and wheelchairs won't make you a better person, and you desperately need to be better. Drifting into irrelevance and obscurity is the best way to force you to grow up and act decent. Stop posting about Nader and worry about fixing yourself. He is a piece of crap, but you need to work on yourself to be a better person. You need to seek mental help. Now, blaming your mental health for being a crappy person is ridiculous when you have the time and resources to fix it, but are too lazy to bother. You were warned ad nauseum that he was only with you for your bank account. You didn't fall in love, you fell in lust. You refused to listen. We were right. Yep, remember these red flags? I don't think she even knows what real true love is. According to Nad, they dated for 4 days. However, he used her, what a year. The sad thing is that she knew he was using her. She's almost 40 years old. She cannot be that naive or dense. She allowed him to continue to use her. She's still even reaching out to him, making fake accounts. There's something really wrong with her. I don't think it's too late. If you really loved him, you would fight for him. Get your man, girl. He left your ass for Didi over 9 months ago. Get over it already. Jesus Christ. Even love struck teenagers experiencing their first love get over being dumped faster than this. You hit the wheelchairs again. Glad you did it offline this time. Just like she said she doesn't do Coca Cola on camera either. Lol. Oh, head shave is even better than the way Nader does it. You should become a barber. Amazing how you did it so well. It was a week-long relationship, just enough to eke a trip out of you. If he was so horrible, why were you calling him just last week? Quit playing the perpetual victim, Chantal. It's literally been months since you saw him, girl. Let's move on to bigger and better. Come on. Months? She just bought his groceries. She was with him yesterday. Who else remembers the time she cried because she couldn't give loverboy slash abuser a child? I love the shaved head look. It's unapologetic and it's such a confident look to rock. Not everyone can do it. With like a full face, some nice earrings, the bald looks so cunty in a good way. Foodie Beauty, make sure you wear socks or comfy sealers at the parade. I've been in so many and I'm fit, but the standing around walking outside in a parade is a killer on the feet and back. Take plenty water and be prepared to walk up and down the street. Lol, the individual you believed they were. You knew damn well who he was. You only got pissed when he dumped you. You are grieving the loss of a fantasy. The emotions were real, but only in your mind for a fictional person. I've been there. You can get past this, one day at a time. Ha 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 ha. You have to stop being a victim. Take accountability for your actions. You are not a victim. Let me get something straight when it comes to that article. If it's Chantal's fault for bringing Nader to the community before she knew he was abusive, following that convoluted logic, then it's Canada's fault for bringing him to its citizens before they knew he was stabby. So let's write an article about how awful Canada is and cancel it. Agreed. Other than she told us week 2 of knowing this man, he grabbed her face and shouted at her. He punched her multiple times in the arm. He flicked a cigarette at her. He then ghosted her, was calling all the time on other occasions, and was possessive and tried controlling what time she came over, and she had to seek out to leave. I'll repeat, that was week 2. You understand he's been with another woman, living with her for almost a year now, right? You keep reaching out to him under an alias, hoping to trap him as a gotcha moment. And when he doesn't take the bait, or knows it's you and uses you for groceries, you then go on these rampages. Enough. Grow up, get therapy, move on. You two are a narcissist, so it was a match made in hell for all the parties. He's garbage. You're delusional. Now be a big girl and get the help you so desperately need that doesn't involve food and or drugs. Jesus. He left you and you are a narcissist too. PATHETIC. Attempt. At trying to be pitied. You're still trying to contact him. You're the stalker. He dumped you for something better. Be happy he no longer wants you. I bet there's not a single cat hair in Carly's whole house. How are you going to keep your cat's hair under control? You never brush them or even clean all that hair. Yuck. You're going to busy keeping that up. Remember, the cleaner only comes once a week. You will have to clean daily to keep it clean from hair. I've had potatoes less in my pantry longer than your relationship. Shoot, I've had ingrown toenails last longer than their relationship. Lol, her delusion is certainly real. So you were raging because he said no again when you went over to pay his wages? But yet here you're still trying to reach out to him, making fake accounts just to message him or talk to him. You watching their videos, it's awful funny. Most survivors of DV will not, I repeat, will not do what you've done. Seems to most of us you want to play victim, but only when it's because you're getting lack of attention or you're being called out. Trust and believe me when I tell you, if my ex-husband, abuser, passed away, I wouldn't give a flying fuck. If he was on fire, I wouldn't spit on him to put it out. Yet you're the complete opposite, huh? Also, how long before you or your mods delete the negative comments? Y'all are so good at doing that and with the quickness too. I suppose it hurts to read the truth about yourself, huh? Give it a rest. He finally left you and has been with Didi ever since. You tried desperately to get him back, and that is the truth. But on another note, his channel started September 2021, so I went back on your channel prior to September 2021, and guess what? There you are crying about what a piece of shit he is. So explain again how you helped start his channel before you knew what he was. People don't owe you understanding, just like public figures owe us nothing. Seek therapy. Just when I think you've hit rock bottom with your disgusting and unstable life, you go and reach new levels of pathetic. You are still with this person. Enough said. He left you. LMAO, you're not the victim at all, Ganti. Neither is bad, but you are on his level. Perhaps even worse with your victim shaming. You talk and post about Nader more than a proud new mom on social media, for fuck's sake. He's been with Didi for almost a year. Make him some chicken stew in the blue moldy pot. Chantal, stop trauma dumping and gaslighting. We are not responsible for your mental health. If you need to talk, to vent, to process, to find closure, seek out a therapist. Your VIBzers can't help you. Chantal, he left you. This doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's time to go get some real mental help with what you're going through. Okay, victim Melissa Cook. You just brought the guy groceries days ago and sat on the side of the road in Montreal waiting for him to call like you do every weekend. And of course, he would listen to a guy named Danish. Go figure. Should we place bets on her backing out of the fashion show today? Okay, you lying narcissistic slob. Bet you'd go waddling back this instant if he gave you the green light. 'Cause he's the one who ended things after a week. Couldn't handle your fungal smells. You are beating a dead horse. There are people who lose both of their parents in a year and do not go on the way you do. Enough is enough. This is sounding very moronic at this point. Get over it. For the love of God. Um, it wasn't even a relationship. Remember that part? I didn't know you had left yourself. You didn't leave him. You still desperately want to be in Didi's spot. He left you. You need to get help and move on. Your head is sick. Loony loon loon. You're beyond helping. What were you saying about this chapter of your life being over? Oh yeah, you're a liar. Come on, stop this. You weren't claimed for more than a solitary week and are still looking for excuses to go back. He chose someone better. Just be grateful he did. You just cannot stand not getting your way. Grow up. The world doesn't revolve around you. You are also a narcissist. Can't get away from yourself. Nader was a cunt from the very beginning, so I'm not quite sure what other perception you would have of him. Shut the fuck up. You are obsessed, always have been, and not just for one guy. You yourself explain in detail, multiple times throughout your life in videos, how you go after guys and all the crap you do. It has nothing to do with maturity either. You have a personality disorder. Seek help immediately. Oh, for fuck's sake, you're in desperate need of therapy. Still acting the victim so that people will hate on the journalist. You said that there was no abuse and you exaggerated the abuse. Whatever you do, don't wear new shoes. Lots of walking in a parade. Ugh, you're embarrassing. Stop labeling Nader. It's simply he is a bad person who uses people to get what he needs. You were a number to him, like many more women will be. Nader isn't capable of love. You have never been able to shave your head like that. You are lazy and do the least amount possible. Cat deflection, putting face in a pillow while one eye reads chat. You, Nader and Didi think we are all stupid. You all made a plan and have stuck to it, talking shit about each other. You and Nader have still been meeting and he shaved your head tonight. You don't care about Pete's. If you did, you would have moved somewhere that he could have worked. He does not speak French, Chantal. You wanted to be closer to Nader and have a house and a cat sitter. Dude, stop sharing everything. Spiral by yourself. We are sick of hearing about it. You need a therapist to talk about these things to, not the internet. You keep trying to convince everyone else. Convince yourself. In private with a therapist. Stop putting your trauma on viewers. Where has the piece of shit abuser been? Stop deleting every comment stating the truth. Oh my god, shut up about him already. Lol, you're so desperate to be a victim. Oh, for fuck's sake, are you still on this? Cheesy motivational quotes about leaving a narcissist? First of all, you're one too. Second of all, he rejected you. You didn't leave him. Stop talking about this for fuck's sake. Okay, getting your feelings and thoughts from Twitter posts. Just stop it. You are ridiculous. There is no way you think waking up completely bald every morning looks better than waking up with sparse hair. You can still wear wigs and hats with sparse hair. Why would you want to be bald AF? You have some gray hair. You're 40. Get over it and dye it. I don't see how bald is better than sparse hair. Ask any guy. They would rather wake up to you with sparse hair than baldy thumbhead. Oh, gag me with the spoon, Chantal. Oh, Mr. Coffee? Mr. Mercedes? Tony? Mentals? You both are narcissists. He got what he wanted. He had to pay for his time with you. That's it. Get over it. He doesn't love you. He loved the money and the stuff you gave him. So delusional. Did you have a head injury as a child? Still? Enough already. Go to therapy. Blah, blah, blah. For fuck's sake, give it a rest. Seek professional help. Grow up. You are not this only person this has happened to. Move on. Plus, it was all in your head, just like the teenage obsessions you had. Actually, you need help. You are not nor ever been mentally stable. If you have some hair, you can still wear wigs and hats, right? Why would you rather shave your head and be completely bald? You have some hair on your head right now. It's way better than bald. Dye the grays. You're 40s. Grays are normal. Bald isn't. She'll be bald AF either way. Yep, she's starting to look slightly more human again with the hair growing back and she wants to shave it again. I'm convinced she just wants any kind of attention she can get, and being bald gives her that. Who cares if it's a bit gray? Go to therapy. Oh, for fuck's sake. Get over it. Chantal, you keep trying to gain clout from your past. It's over. Be happy about things to come. It was all your delusion. He was never Prince Charming. Those small moments were tiny blips. You wish he abused you the way he supposedly abused DD. Instead, all you have is the cheese cube fight and being gaslit into believing you gave yourself gonorrhea. No wonder your father left you and never looked back. Find a hobby for fuck's sake. You're pathetic. Buying lanky streak of piss food. Shame on you, you piece of shit. You know now about grieving as you come first, like you showed when a family member died and you spent it with pubis gall. Blah blah. Blah blah. So fucking true. I also know it from experience. It's horrible. Oh. Get therapy and stop trying to be manipulative. Or are you too scared to face yourself? Coward. Go live. It's my day off. Let's bees. This is from a member of 2 months. Beezer, 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 Beezer. Go live. Let's bees. Sir bees, Sir bees, Sir bees. What the hell? Shut the fuck up. Especially now. We know he's not hung. Because that was the only reason I thought you were obsessed about. I know, right? She cannot tell the truth about anything. Yeah, same. And the food. Come on. You have not been through shit. I got abused for 2 years. And when I finally understood it, I involved the police and I never ever contacted him again. I hate him because he kicked me, so I lost my baby. Who on earth talks about their abuser every single live stream? And you even watch his videos, calls him, texts him with fake accounts, pays his bills, and blah blah. Oh, yeah, that's how hurt you are.